Hello, my name is Douglas Bloch. I'm a depression survivor, author, and mental health educator. Welcome to your Depression Recovery channel, where each week we talk about practical tools and coping strategies for healing from depression and anxiety. The title of today's video is 4 Words That Can Save Your Life. And before we actually start the video, we have to have our regular joke, and here it is. Those of you who have been around for a while, you've heard this, but oh well. Maybe some of you haven't. How many psychotherapists does it take to change a light bulb? Just one. But the light bulb really has to want to change. It's true. So, title again is called 4 Words That Can Save Your Life. Now, this may seem like a really dramatic title. 4 words that can save your life. How can that be? But it's actually true. You can use these words when you feel discouraged, when you feel hopeless, and when you feel despairing. And what are these magic words? You've heard them before, no doubt. This too shall pass. So, why are these words so powerful? Because they talk about a fundamental truth of existence, especially existence on the physical plane where we are, and that is that nothing lasts forever. The only constant in the universe is change. So, everything, as they say in Buddhism, arises, abides for a while, and then passes away. We can kind of think about the sun like this. Every morning the sun comes up, in the sky for a while, and then it sets at the end of the day. Arises, abides for a while, and passes away. Now, why is this so important for people like us who suffer from anxiety and depression? It's important because when you're in a really dark place, when you're in an episode of depression that's been going on for a month or 2 months or maybe even a year, you start to think, this is how it's going to be forever. Things will never change. I will always be like this. I'm living in eternal hell, You don't have to die to go to hell. You can be in hell right here on earth and be in eternal hell. And so then you start to think, well, God, if this is the way life is going to always be, then, why bother? Why stay on the planet? Life is not worth living. But it's not true, because things do change. And I'll give you some examples from my own life. When I was 26 years old, I was living in a halfway house in Berkeley, California. I've been depressed for over a year. I was homeless before that. I thought, my God, I'll always be here. When I was 32, I was living with my parents in New York. Been depressed for a while, moved from Oregon to back to New York, to Florida with them, back to New York. Been a long time. I said, I'm always going to be with my parents. When I was 46 and when I was 65, I went into two really dark depressive episodes. I thought I'd never come out of them. But, in fact, things did change. I did end up getting well enough and I left the halfway house. I did ended up moving back to Oregon and not having to be at home forever. And the 2 episodes I just mentioned, 46 and 65, eventually the darkness left and the sun rose again. So, again, 4 episodes, thought they would never end, thought I'd always be in hell. It proved otherwise. I remember specifically when I was in New York hospital, the social worker had an interview with me, not an interview, a conference with me and my parents. Parents were very concerned, of course. I was 32, 33 years old living with them, and the social worker said to my father, what's your greatest fear? He said, well, my greatest fear is that Douglas is always going to be ill. He'll never be able to leave home, will die, and then what will happen to him? So the social worker said, well, has Douglas gotten depressed before? My father said, yes, while in college. The social worker said, has he ever lived with you before? Yes, after he graduated from college, he came and lived with us because he didn't know the next step. He was really too down. And the social worker said, and then what happened? Well, eventually he moved to Oregon, went to graduate school, and came out of it. So the social worker said, if he came out of it before, he can do it again. The best predictor of the future is the past. And so you shouldn't worry, because things will in fact change. And this is also true for you. If you have been depressed before and you're depressed now and it's been a while and you're giving up hope, know that you did come out of it before. You did arise from the ashes like the phoenix, and you did get well for a time. Or if maybe this is your first episode, maybe you're young and you're wondering, God, is this the way it's always going to be? But again, there was a time before the depression that you felt well. And again, we live in the physical world and nothing stays the same forever. The Buddhists call it impermanence. So again, the magic 4 words, this too shall pass. Just recently, about 10 days ago, I was, usually I've been really healthy since I came out of my last episode, but there's been a really bad bug going around in Oregon. Yeah, the dampness during the winter, and I got it, and I felt really bad. I was, coughing, couldn't breathe, and had to go to the doctor. And suddenly my mood went downhill. I thought, wow, the future looks dark. I don't see much hope for my life. I'm starting this new fundraising channel called Patreon. No one's going to go to it. I don't think I'm going to make any more videos. And I started to really see my mood go down. But then I remembered, oh yeah, this too shall pass. This is an acute illness. You'll get over this. Go get some acupuncture, go get some herbs. Things will change. This won't always be like this. And my mind, which had been tricked by the physical illness, said, okay, I believe this affirmation. And in fact, 10 days later, I'm well enough to do this video. The moral of the story, again, is if you're feeling hopeless or despairing or like you can't go on anymore, do hold on for 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day. Things will change. For me, one of my episodes, I went to bed on July 16th, woke up the 17th, and I was feeling better. So you never know what can happen tomorrow. This too shall pass. This has been Douglas Bloch. Thank you for watching this video. It's a special video I made on this sunny day in Oregon, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did so, please give it a like. If you have any comments, leave them in your comments in the comments section, or you can email me, douglasbloch@gmail.com. If you want to subscribe to this channel, which I hope you do, go to YouTube, type in Douglas Bloch Healing Depression. This channel will come up, and you can hit the subscribe button in the upper right. And if you click on the bell next to that, you'll be notified every time I publish a new video. And if you want to go to my website, go to healingfromdepression.com. And if you want to go to my crowdfunding website I just started, go to www.patreon.com/Douglas Bloch. And until we meet again, I wish you the best in your mental health recovery. Thank you so much for tuning in.